Hello and good Animorning. Welcome to the Animation Breakfast Club with Doig and Swift.
Or as I like to think of it, Swift and Doig.
How do you mean? Why would you say that? Why is your name first? Alphabetical.
Because that's how John and Hank start their podcast.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
John and Hank.
Yeah.
Hank and John is way better though.
Why?
Because
State your reasons.
John is a stronger name to end on, as is Swift. Like it's Doig and Swift.
You just said Hank and John made more sense, and now you're saying Hank and John makes more sense because Hank is a stronger name to end on.
I said John is a stronger name to end on.
You didn't.
So
Chat.
Hank and John.
I call upon you and your ears of hearing and your eyes of seeing and your minds of thinking. He did. He sure did. He sure did.
I said John is a stronger name to end on.
Well, if that's what you meant, then I believe you. Are you really gonna try? Oh no. Oh no. I shouldn't have said anything. Shouldn't have said anything. Morning, everyone. How are you doing? Morning, everyone. Wait. Jim said, Doig said John. No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
How did my brain hear Hank?
Because you thought I was arguing with.
You were. but Hank sounds so different to John. How could I be so sure and yet so wrong?
Why is your name first? Alphabetical.
Because that's how John and Hank start their podcast.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
John and Hank.
Yeah.
Hank and John is way better though.
Why?
Because
State your reasons.
John is a stronger name
Oh.
to end on, as is Swift.
Mike's just playing it back. I don't know if you guys can hear him playing it back, but he's playing it back to me. And he totally says John. And you know when something makes you question everything? This is one of those times where it's like...
There you go.
I heard Hank. And I was so sure. I was like 120% positive that I was right. And I was not right. And it's like, well, if I'm wrong about that, how much of the stuff in my life that I'm like 120% sure on am I completely wrong about how it happened? Like, it's just my brain being like, yeah, that's totally what happened. You remember it right. That's how it happened.
About 57%.
I feel that's probably about accurate. 60%.
No, 57.
Shut up!
We're going to be doing the Animorning Challenge today. The Animorning Challenge was called Small World, and it involved using some footage of some little bugs and ducks submitted very generously by Martina.
Yeah.
Who I think is also one of the submissions. So that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm looking at their name right now at the top of the screen. So that's super cool. It was a challenge in which you would animate over footage of very small things. Initially, it was going to be just that you had to animate someone riding on the thing. But I think after seeing the footage, Mike and I decided that it would be just, you could animate them doing kind of anything you wanted in the scene. So that you had freedom to kind of use holds in your animation if you wanted to. And yeah, that's what the Animorning Challenge was.
Indeed.
Pretty rad.
Also, I added some different settings to our compression on the voices, so let us know if we sound any better.
Hey, Hinky Fink. Good morning. Heard you guys are John and Hank. That's right. We're the new John and Hank.
We're the new... Aren't John and Hank brothers?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm with it.
They're also they also don't need replacing in any way. Like, they're going strong.
Which one organizes VidCon? Is it John or is it Hank?
Oh, don't know. Don't ask. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know them well enough to know which in particular does what. I do listen to their podcast, though, every now and then. It's really fun.
Okay. I'm going to switch us over.
Okay. Yes, the Greens. That's them. John Green and Hank Green.
Doig sounds a bit louder than usual, which is a positive. Okay, cool. It might be because the microphone has moved back to its original left-hand side position.
It might also be because Doig is no longer trying to use voice meter banana, which apparently doesn't work properly anymore.
Oh, I've never used that for inputting into the stream.
My world is just breaking today.
I
Everything
use that,
I thought was a thing is not a thing.
I use that on Discord calls so that we can combine our audios, but it makes me robot-y now. Anyway.
Anywho.
I don't have a particular layout for this, so I'm just gonna build one now.
Live.
Yeah.
Live, on camera, in person. Coming at you. Hot from Dublin in the morning. I see a playlist and I see my screen.
Here we are.
Perfect. I guess you could move it up a bit so they can see the tools at the bottom but not the bar at the top.
Oh, you want to be able to see the tools? Do they need to see the tools?
No.
I didn't think they needed to see the tools.
They need to see the timeline though.
Okay. And we can show feedback.
Yeah.
There we go.
I'm watching it with a delay on my end. So. How many of you did the caterpillar? 3 people did the cat out of 4. 3 out of 4 people choose the caterpillar.
There we go. There it is. There you go.
Blow.
Bam, kablam.
Blow.
Blow. What's blow?
It still makes me laugh that blow is an actual lyric in a Slim Shady song.
Oh, yeah.
Blow.
Blow.
Back to reality. Alright. So are we just going to start? We need some kind of cool Animorning graphic. That's what we need for the Animorning challenge.
Yeah. We should
Is
have
that your entire response?
We should have like a no. We should have like a sting or something, and it has like a 3D graphic that's sort of like, and it's like 2 words land in the dust, and it's like, Animorning challenge.
Yeah.
That's my whole response.
Yeah, I think so too. I think we should we should have something.
Yeah.
Even if we have to like whip it together super fast, pull it out of our Patowskis. Alright, let's have a look. So this first Animorning challenge is from Martina. Just give it a play and have a look. Oh my gosh.
Whoa.
That's so cool.
Wait.
Oh, whoa, what, Martina? You've done multiple ones. The duck with a sandwich. That's so cute. I really like the way that you've chosen to do like a cuboid for the first one, so you can really show the change in perspective on it as it goes. See, that's real nice.
Yeah.
Let's look at this duck.
I like his little wiggly feet.
It's like trying to keep his sandwich away. It's really cute. Little tail wag at the end. Alright. Let's have a step through. And see. So, when I was looking at this one, the only thing I could see, like, which I think might be a little bit of a problem if you were to proof this up, is that I think you've got like a lot of wobbling happening on your reins. And I think that's like partially just wanting to go through and do like a pass on it to smooth it out. And it's also partially, I think, because it's changing length a little bit through the animation. So if
Changing length?
Changing length! So if you look at the length of this frame here.
I'm going to do something.
And compare it to the length of like this frame here. It feels like they must have either pulled the reins in a lot. Let me see if I can hold it between frames. There we are. It feels like they either must have pulled in the slack of the reins a lot, or that the rein has shrunk. So just watch the length of the reins. I'll put a little note. Watch.
Wait.
Oh, what's up?
Look.
Are you writing comments then?
Yeah.
Whoa! Whoa, Mike, thanks.
Then you don't have to spend all your time writing.
Holy shit, Mike, thank you.
I'm on it.
What the fuck?
I'm on it.
That's super nice of you. Okay, let me take that off. It's so cool.
John is on it. No, I'm Hank.
Are you Hank?
I might have misspelled rain.
I think the other thing I noticed is that you have this nice pose where they are kind of being pushed forward by the caterpillar. But I think that maybe it's coming in a little bit early here. So it doesn't really feel like it's a reaction to the caterpillar's back pushing along in a wave. And let me show you what I mean. I'm going to put the opacity of this up a little bit. And increase my brush size. That'll do.
Oh, you can edit my comments.
Oh no, I did something weird. Okay, I think I fixed it. I need to remember that it's arrow keys to go backwards and forwards on the frames. So I think I like this shape here. Where you're being pushed back a little bit. And then I think it would continue here. Because you want to get more bang out of these poses, essentially. And if you have them only on for like one frame, it can be really hard to see that shape change happen.
Do you end up with a little bit more like poppy movement rather than a movement into and out of?
Yeah, that's
keys?
it exactly. It's the poppiness. Which sometimes is what you want. Like you can totally use that deliberately to get an impression of poppiness that you're going for. Whoops. I'm adding this to a sketch by accident. So they're still being dragged back here. And then I'd probably have them start to go forward a little bit here. As the front of the caterpillar starts to lift up. So now as the front of the caterpillar starts to lift up, there's a rise in front of them rather than behind them. So it feels like more of a place to start to have them have to like brace back against that a little bit. I'm not sure I like that shape. So push it forward a little bit there. And then maybe go into it slightly more there. What you giggling at, mate?
Just laughing that I get the reference that Ula's making.
What's the reference?
So Your Majesty, a cloud is like Doig, Hank, Dank, John, Swift, Joft, Joffa cakes. And then the Joff A cakes, and Ula says A cakes. Isn't that what Andy calls Anne? And I get that reference. It's Parks and Rec.
Parks and Rec.
It's Parks and Rec.
It's Parks and Rec.
I bought a water bottle.
How are you finding it?
Cold and soothing.
Is it fulfilling all your watery needs?
I think so. I put it in the fridge.
I put it in the fridge.
I put it in the fridge.
Uh-huh.
And now I'm drinking it. It's This is a 2-liter bottle of water. And it chill.
So this is where the caterpillar stops moving. So that's probably where I'd have them do the little overshoot. Right about when it stops moving. So they're like being pulled forward by it as it's moving forward. And because they're being pulled forwards by it, the pelvis, which is on top of the caterpillar, is being pulled forward and the top of the body is being dragged behind. And then when it stops moving, the top of the body catches back up and kind of overlaps the movement of the bottom of the body. So that's where I'd put my overshoot frames, is just after the movement on the caterpillar stops. I'm doing it very quickly, so please excuse me. Just trying to get the very rough. And then it's like, whoa, we're going forward again. Sometimes drawing in this program's a little wacky. A little wackio. Okay, that kind of gives the impression.
I saw something that the Animated Brothers. What are they called?
Animated Brothers, the Pratt Bros.
Yeah, thank you. They were using a different kind of software for this same thing. I wonder what I'm gonna go check out what they use, because maybe it'll be better. Although I don't know if you can share it quite in the same way.
The one thing I'm not sure I like about the changes I've just made is that here on frame 81 it feels like you kind of get to the peak of the movement. I'd want to put that on a nice arc that goes along with the caterpillar's movement.
Okay.
So right now my arc is kind of balked up. and the peak of the movement, like the highest point that the character reaches, doesn't really make sense. So I'd want to adjust that. Let me do that in purple.
Would you do it in an S curve or would you do it in a C curve?
I'd do it in a C curve just to keep it simple, but
So he kind of go like this.
yeah, exactly. So there's like a nice arc of movement happening as the caterpillar's body is going up and down with the person on top. I know that's very rough, but something more like that, so you can see the top is smoothed out now with the movement, and it kind of goes in a gentle curve. So you see how it feels like now they're being pushed forward super fast by the movement of the caterpillar, and then overshooting a little bit at the end. That's I think what you want to go for with the movement overall, is to try and sync up those push forwards and overshoots with what the caterpillar is doing with its body rolls. Hope that's helpful. So I'm gonna just... do you want to put a little note saying just to watch the arc of the height of the character to make sure that's like nice and smooth and goes with the movement of the caterpillar?
So watch out for the arc of the character, or watch...
Yeah, the arc of the vertical motion of the character. The ups and downs, essentially. You basically want to try and kind of sync it up with the ups and downs of the caterpillar's body. I love that you guys can just still throw cereal and stuff at us in this mode too. I hope that's helpful, Martina. Other than that, I don't have much feedback. I love, like I said before, I love that you've chosen to use a rectangle cuboid shape for this, because it really helps you to show the tilt of the character. It's really nice to be able to see the planes change as it moves towards and away from us. People are going to get annoyed at me, but you know what would help with that even more? A grid. It might be like maybe a little bit too advanced right now for this level of animation, but what you could do is if you really wanted to push it and give yourself a huge headache and make things way harder for yourself, then you could always add a grid to the scene, and it would help you figure out which way the cuboid, how the cuboid would look to the camera from different places in the scene. And the reason it would give you a headache is because it'd be great to give you a starting point of how it would be if the cube was facing a consistent direction, but as soon as you start adding the twists and turns that it's going to have on top of the caterpillar, you have to bear that in mind on top of having the twists and turns of the caterpillar. So let me give you an example. Let me see if I can use Girl in the Glim as a ruler. So for example, if this is Yo Greed,
Would the grid be as high as that? I guess it might be.
Say this is your greed. For illustration purposes only, Mike.
Okay, gotcha.
Then you know that it's going to be like this when it's here. But when it's at this point, it's going to be way more like this. At this point, it's going to be way more like this. In terms of it just like moving horizontally across the screen.
Got you.
So if you know that kind of thing, then you can use that in your mind on top of the movement it's already got on the caterpillar to try and work out like really getting the feeling of it moving away from the camera and shifting perspective based on where the camera is. But that is also like that's super advanced, and it would be pretty tough to work out. But if you ever wanted to like super push yourself, you could try that.
The grid would also be a good way to check like what scale that your character would be against something.
What scale your character would be against something.
Yeah, as they go a little bit further away and towards you.
Yeah, that's true. You mean like
You've got the caterpillar there for
if
size reference as well.
Yeah, if this was closer to the screen, it'd probably be more like that.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Sir Duck. Here they are. I love that. It's just trying to defend its sandwich.
Yeah.
So let's see. I think the first time I watched it, I didn't realise that it was trying to hide its sandwich from this one which is coming in super fast. So I think that you could maybe you could exaggerate the poses here a little bit to make that clearer. So I think this is super cute that it's like looking overhead to see that duck behind it. But I think because you're spending a lot of time looking at the duck behind it, it doesn't really have much time to telegraph that it's worried about this duck coming in here. And because we only get like kind of one frame of it whipping the sandwich away, it can be hard to tell on first viewing that like what the duck's train of thought is. So I think what I would do is I would maybe, rather than have it looking at this duck overhead, I'd spend that amount of time having it slowly looking up at this other duck as it approaches, and we'll know as its eyeline gets higher and higher, looking at this thing off screen, that something is approaching closer and closer to it. And then at the point at which it realises the thing is gonna probably get its sandwich, I would give it like a little take, give it a little anticipation and surprise. So give it like a squash where it's like, no, my sandwich. I'm gonna squash his body a little bit too. And then squash his face. Gonna keep the sandwich mostly consistent in where it is though, because I want that to be like the thing that moves the least.
Martina says, "Oh no, it's cute."
This is a really bad drawing, but yeah, just assume it's a squash, and then it's like, oh no, It's coming for my sandwich. Help. And then when it does come, you can have it really try and like whip that sandwich away from it. Like, no, it's mine. My sandwich.
India's also like breaking the silhouette.
Yeah, it's like try to hold the sandwich away from it. And then you can have here it's like pulling the sandwich back in. Like doing a little squash underneath. No, mine. And then yeah, this is like a really nice pose where it's watching it go. Like that says very clearly it's like I've saved my sandwich from it. I like the pose of it holding it with one hand too. I think that's cute. I love this little lime boil you have on it. It's really charming. Yeah, it's sandwich. And then you've got like a little tail wag here. I'm assuming because it's happy that it saved its sandwich. But it only kind of wags once, down and up again. So I'd have that be like a constant. Have a little anticipation frame here like you have it. And then feel free to just be like blah 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 blah. This is it wagging its. If you just draw a different drawing like this kind of thing, every frame it's gonna look like it's wagging. Even though it's not necessarily. It gives the impression. Wow, that's way too fast. Maybe do on twos instead of ones. So take off like tails.
It just goes off to the left, stage left to end it like.
Yeah. Let's get rid of every second. There we go.
I have a suggestion, but it's more of a staging thing.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's just to put the duck in a tiny paddling pool.
Why?
Thought it'd be funny.
What, like,
That's a puddle.
Well, what's a paddling pool?
One of those inflatable ring things.
Oh, well, you want to actually have it sat in, like...
Yeah. I'm just saying it's just a little staging thing.
You won't be able to see his feet very well then, though.
No, you'd be able to see over the lip of it. Okay, whatever. That would be funny.
It is. It's cute. I'm just saying swings and roundabouts.
Yeah, I would have made it a little bigger, but that so you could still see all of the characters.
Bigger?
Yeah.
Like
Paddling pools aren't that well.
like that.
Yeah.
But then it's going to interfere with the ducks walking
whatever, it doesn't matter.
Wow, I really shut him down hard, huh? I like the small pool, but it did look a little bit like the duck had peed itself, so...
Okay.
But yeah. I think, actually the tail wag might be a little bit extreme.
I'm not sure it needs the the distortion for the smear frame.
Yeah,
in the
that's what I'm
original.
thinking. And I don't think I need the distortion for the smear frame in mine either. I think actually it might need to be animated without shortcuts. So you have this anticipation and then... Wow, why is that not leaving? And then you could have it down the ground.
Oh,
Squash
Martine, is that your Twitter? _r _ eam. Sweet.
Up.
I've been wondering.
Down. Down. Up.
It's cute.
So imagine that the tail was had a bit more care and time put into it. I think just having it do multiple wags is cute and shows the happiness a bit more. I just called smear frames a shortcut. What I meant by shortcut was my version of smear frames of being able to just change the drawing every 2 frames and have it look like it was moving. Which is a shortcut to me because it's faster to draw than actually taking the time to look at where the tail's coming from, where's it going, what's the drag going to be like on it. But I think that it's going to look best if you do take that stuff into account and properly draw each frame. I've been cancelled.
All right. I think we should move on to the next one.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Martina, and thank you for this footage as well. We really appreciate it.
Did that really just take us 35 minutes?
Welcome to Animorning Challenges.
No way. Okay, this one's you gotta do this one in 5 minutes.
I can't do Ula's in... Well, I might be able to do Ula's in 5 minutes, actually, because it might just be a matter of me being this is cool. And then that's it. Let's have a look.
Is there 11,000 frames in there?
Yeah.
What?
Animation. I mean, it's all on ones, right? So...
Okay, let's go.
Alright. This is Ula's. Oh my gosh, the poor cat.
Oh, it started at 11,000. That's weird.
Did someone just drop that cat off? What an asshole!
It's okay, it gets rescued.
Look what's happening here.
I love him coming in
He
what?
just comes in with the cat and is just nah, I'm done with it. Get out of here. What an asshole. An asshole duck rider.
The slam down is really vicious.
Bam!
Bam.
It's okay though, look, it's cute. I think my favourite part of this is honestly the bag that's hanging from
the duck.
From the duck.
I knew you were gonna say that.
But it's it moves so nicely in perspective, and as well as moving nicely in perspective, it also it has some swing to it. That's really nicely and subtly done. When my drawings are that rough, you often can't tell what the subtle movements on them are. But...
What's right at the end? There's a foreground thing at the end. Sorry. It might have been the beginning.
I know, I think it's at the beginning. I think it's this duck, which also has a rider, obviously, because it's got a harness.
Oh my god.
We just can't see them because they're off screen.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that bag animation's so good. I would say that during these frames, I thought that there was a bag on only one side and the other side had something else because the shapes look so different to one another. But then when the duck turns, I realise it's the same bag on each side. So, just for when, you proof it up, which you're totally going to, aren't you, Ula? You're totally going to proof this up. Just to make sure that's, a defined shape.
Ula says, oh, yeah. I got incredibly lazy.
You say during this like incredible animation that has 1,000,000 frames and 1,000,000 characters.
Oh, I realized that it starts at like 11,300 something.
It's beautiful. Like I love the way that you move shapes in space, Ula. Like the bag and little things too, like the hat. This is what I liked about the way that you were handling it too, Martina, was that you had forms which had obvious faces on them, so you could really see the tilt of things towards and away from the camera, and it helps so much with the believability of it. Really beautiful. Oh, look at the little cat! Look at that lovely overlap on its butt. Yeah. Get that cat!
I like that the cat doesn't get grabbed quite on the peak of the jump.
Yeah, I kind of almost want to push into that more. Where it's like, it gets grabbed and it's like very much like a sack that's just being dragged upwards. Just to like really show the resistance.
Ula says, I did the bag straight ahead on 4s, then I'm in between on 2s, and then 1s.
Oh, that's really interesting.
Where there are some.
What a cool technique. I would have just gone straight ahead on 1s and then wanted to murder myself
And
halfway
then cry.
through.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm going to add that as a note that Ula's given himself, so that anyone else looking at this can be like, hola.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I'm going to delay that head even more.
He says directly on 1s would have murdered me.
Yeah, it would have murdered me too. I just wouldn't have thought to do it on 4s. That's a really good idea. I love the way this cat just jumps with its face. It like jumps like an animal normally would, but then just lands with like bump on its face. It has no self-preservation. Cute. I love this. The nice little touches too of how the rider's like, go on duck, off you go now. And then the duck goes. It's really nice. Yeah, I'm sorry I don't have much actual critique for you here, Ula. I just really like it. What is this asshole thinking? Cat is just so floppy. I love it. I guess you could have anticipated like a little bit more, maybe the throw. You'd start anticipating here, and have them really be like up here.
That would have been even more brutal.
It really would have.
It. Cloud says it's Flop a Cat Tuesday for him. He does this every Tuesday. Ula, can you link the tweet that you made for it? Rakra the Wizard is asking, can we find this animation anywhere so I can watch it back? We'll also share the sync sketch link at the end of today.
Brutal. Finish him.
It's like two parents splitting their time between the cat, and this is how they deliver him off.
It's your turn this weekend. Whack.
Thanks, Ula.
Yeah, beautiful work, Ula. Did you have fun doing this too? Like, this is one of the ones where I was really sad that I didn't get to take part in it too, because it looked like so much fun to do. About to get stepped on by a duck at the end. I can see it coming! Gotta step on that hat. Yeah, awesome stuff. I love seeing it. I love the dimensionality and solidity that your characters have.
Ula says, I had a lot of fun. I was about to even add another dude just chilling on the back of a duck, but it was taking away our focus.
Ah, fair enough.
Oh,
Was it going to be just on this one?
Yeah, I see it, yeah. You can put one where someone's just like lying fully back, like they've lost control of the duck and they're just letting life take them.
I thought you meant like sunbathing. Like, I'm just going to let my duck do what he wants.
It's funny how much you think like ducks would have. It's just that expression of just gonna let my duck do what it wants. Like ducks have such a powerful force of will. Like you don't. I don't really think about that with horses.
You never want to have a battle of wills with a duck, because a duck will win every time. Is there anything you want to say, Mike, about Ula's?
No, I'm good. I think it's really good.
Any critique you want to give him?
Mm-mm.
What about the colours?
Could use more colors, Ula.
Yeah. My only couple of notes would be like, and this is just a matter of preference more than it is an actual critique, but I would just maybe exaggerate some of those poses a little bit more, have the drag be more apparent, and that's it. I would be super proud if I did this. I'd be like, everybody look at me. Look what I made. Alright, let's have a look.
And thank you, Ula, for participating.
Thank you, Ula, for participating. So do we have a social media handle for this one, Doig?
If they've not put it on, then no.
It's not on the form.
Hmm?
It's not on the form. Submission form.
Oh, maybe.
Let's play it through, and then we can shout out the person.
I was trying to be harsh.
Why? That is not something I was expecting. Cool.
'Cause I'm a grump.
It's a caterpillar killer. The pillar killer.
This is Cheshire.
Cheshire! Hey, thank you, Cheshire. Wahoo! It's nice to see you in the Animorning challenges again. Let me pop on
There you go.
the white out.
Put it in the comment.
Them caterpillars move too fast. You can never catch them. So yeah, it's nice like to see. This is very different from the others. Love to see it.
Oh yeah. Cloud says, has anyone just noticed the little cricket bumping into the caterpillar?
Yeah, I also just noticed that. This little dude. Yo. He gets pushed out of the way by the camel. The camel's just like, no, get out, man.
Get out of the way.
I'm moving. Okay, so let's see, Cheshire. I think you could do a few things to make the movement feel like it flows a bit better. So I think if this is where the hands are going to land, here and here, then the previous frame, rather than coming at it at like more of a horizontal angle, I think you want them to come at it a bit more vertically. Like if I saw this pose, I would expect the hands to land like maybe here-ish rather than further forward. So I'd say you could maybe adjust this pose, have the person coming in more from above. I'd probably push them back a bit further than I have at the minute. So they're going for there. I think. And then I think this is nice. Let me just rub these off. There we go. I think this is nice. You probably want the back to be a little bit more concave rather than this kind of shape where they hit the floor. They're going to be trying to roll over their shoulders. So they're going to be like tucking everything in. Like a bean. We could maybe give the legs like a little bit more variance there. And then on this frame, let's see, where does the bow come from? They just have it in the backhand there. I wonder if it can be like on their back from the start. I'm not sure exactly how you hold bows, but I'm sure you could look it up, figure it out. And then this pose, I might have them getting the bow from their back or something. And then that hand could already be like coming down to where it's gonna, because they might use that to push themselves up. Off the ground.
Hello.
Just make it a little bit more of an active pose, I think, would be nice. And then they have it there. And they've just pushed off the ground with their hand, so the hand can be in a pose like you've just finished pushing off the ground, so it's coming up.
Have we lost the chat?
And then I'm just looking to break that silhouette with the arm. Here. Break silhouette. and then they straighten up here. And this is really nice because you can get that back reversal. You know, where you get the back pushing out convex instead of concave. Okay, some arrows. I'd say with poses like this, if you can keep the full body moving even just a little bit, then do it, because these kind of broad shoulders, these kind of broad movements, like reaching over your shoulder to get something and pulling something out, is gonna affect your entire body. It's not the kind of thing where it's like if you click your fingers, you can keep the rest of your body mostly still, because they're really stretching backwards to grab that. So you're going to want to maybe exaggerate that stretch backwards on this frame where they're reaching backwards, and then when they have it, maybe bring them forward a little bit and just try and have that movement impact the whole of their stature. Even including the legs to a certain extent. So...
Let me know if there's any particular notes I've missed.
I'm just wondering about how you would pull an arrow out. A part of me feels kind of like you might be more inclined to bring it this way. Bring it overhead and string it onto your bow this way. I think that's what most people would probably do. I like the arc that you would have going around the other way, but I think it might feel a little bit more natural. I'm just thinking if I had a bow in one hand, I'm like miming out the movement, and I pulled an arrow out, I would bring it over and pull it back. Rather than pull it down and then bring it up again. I'd give the bow a little bit more movement here as well, as we're stringing this arrow into it. Excuse my very rough write sketches here. And then you'd go into this nice pose and just watch the character proportions, I think, here, because I think they may change a little bit. Like looking at if I hide notes from this frame to this frame, there's a lot of change in the mass of the character. They seem like they get a lot bigger at the end here, so watch out for that. But watch mass of character. So they're firing at the caterpillar. So they're firing slightly away from themselves, right? And what I'm wondering what we can do to really exaggerate and show that that's facing away. I think a lot of it could actually be in little things like the head of the arrow shape and such. Like if you show the back of it. Yeah. Then that might help. I'm gonna just also, hold on, I'm gonna push this forward a little bit to try and get like more of a stretch on the arm. I always get a little confused with bows because I'm always like, is the point at which you pull it halfway along, or is it like towards the top of the string? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I think it's the middle.
it's the middle.
Yeah.
See, in which case, if I just draw the string first, it would be like more of that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then the bow would be pushed back like this.
That way for you get like the maximum like power of the tension in the string.
Have to do one long arrow to be able to hold back a bit while you're doing that.
Have you seen that recent I mentioned it last week or something, the recent Robin Hood film?
Have I seen the recent Robin Hood film?
Yeah.
No.
I think it'd be cool to watch, mostly for the archery teaching that they do in it.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
What is it? I haven't even heard that there was a new Robin Hood film.
Let me look it up.
So yeah, I think we can do a lot of the twist of the body using the leg positions that you have. So making sure that we can see that this leg is going straight into the torso here. So we're kind of almost seeing the back of them a little bit. I think it's going to help know that we're not firing straight across, we're firing kind of into the distance this way, is what we're trying to show.
Oh, no, it was nominated for 3 awards, but they're Razzies for Worst Remake, Worst Supporting Actor, and Worst Picture.
Oh no!
I really liked it. I thought it was cool.
Oh, you've already watched it?
Yeah. Holy shit, Tim Minchin's in it. Oh, of course he is.
Having a little tension being shown here would be really nice too. Like, you could either keep doing the moving hold thing where you're continually like showing them pull further and further back. Keep easing. Either keep easing or add boil / vibration to show tension. So rather than the character kind of almost turning into a statue, I think it'd be nice to keep that ease just going and really like ease into the last position. Or you could have a hold but draw a boil on it, or do some kind of vibration so it feels like there's strain in them holding this this arrow notched into their bow while they aim. And then I think for letting it fly, you can get a bit more bang out of this pose. Like, I think really have like show that hand pinging back. And just make sure you're keeping things like the leg here feeling consistent and constant, because what you want people to be looking at this point is the top of the body where the bow's been released, and the easiest way to do that is to isolate that movement to make sure that's the biggest movement that's happening. That's what people are looking at. So I'd say maybe save them moving the leg till afterwards.
You get boil and vibration on when you kind of like redraw over the same pose, but it looks just slightly different. I think. Are you talking about like the tension there?
Yeah. You can create that impression by having a boil.
Yeah.
Especially if it's on just certain parts of the body.
There's a term for like when you're doing like that, where you're like going back and forth between the drawings in an arc. What would that be called?
It's called various different things. Some people call it a stagger.
Stagger.
Some people call it a vibration.
Okay.
You could probably give this some smear to really show it's going fast. And then it's just like,
did I do it?
Did I hit it? I'd say the only feedback I have for this last pose here is that it looks like they're looking. For some reason, it looks like they're looking
45-degree angle
like
away.
This kind of direction. Like, to me, it looks like they're kind of looking towards the screen almost a little bit. I don't know if you're getting that, Mike.
Yeah. I think it's the...
Whereas it feels like they should be looking into the distance because...
That's where the caterpillar was.
Yeah, that's where the caterpillar's going. So, and that's where they fired. Me trying to draw arrows at a 45-degree angle is a whole terrible heap of embarrassment and awfulness. Nobody look at my arrows! Don't look at them! Okay, I'm just gonna write 45-degree angle.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna do my arrow vertical arrow supremacy rather than horizontal. So you want them to be looking in that direction, and right now they don't really feel like they are. So you want them to be like leaning towards the target a little bit, right? Because they're like trying to see. So I'd keep all this. I think you just need to change that arm position as well. Could you do the pose for me, Mike?
What are you wanting?
Other arm? Yeah, it's hard because your arm is pretty much obscuring your face.
Yeah.
I think you could get away with it if you did something like that. Why ears are such great indicators in animation. It's because they really help you show the angle of the head, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But you'd probably get away with something like this. No, I think the wrist needs to be like at the front of the forehead, I think, because that hand needs to hinge over the front of the brow.
Could you have the
Oh, it needs like.
What if you did?
Yeah, of course you can. I mean, you could. It's just a difficult hand position to draw. Then it's the difference between drawing, like this kind of thing, and if you had the wrist coming backwards to the head, you're just gonna have to essentially have it do that, like disappear behind the head.
Yeah.
Some squint. The ears are great because with an ear, you can do this magic. Where you're like, oh, now I see that they are looking in that direction. Fantastic.
I am floating directly over what you're been drawing.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Hang on. There we go.
So yeah, I think you could use either solution. But definitely try and make it look 45 degrees. Yeah, maybe it would help to give your character like a ponytail or something that would help you kind of show the back of the head a bit better. You know, maybe some indicator that you could use to show like which way they're facing. So think about adding landmark. The head. Show which way it's facing.
You got straight punched in the face by a box of Jaffa cakes just now.
Fuck! Like something that you can use to like really show the tilt of the head. Yeah, and that's my feedback for this one. Great job, Cheshire. And thank you for submitting.
Thank you very much. It's really cool to see a different take as well.
All right, and now we're on to the final one from Jim of the Gym.
Jim of the Gym.
We got a first play.
Look, you're in the scene.
I'm there.
Get out.
Get out of here. You have.
I don't know if the controllers are actually working.
Well, I have one of them.
Apparently not.
Oh, there I am. I'm back.
Oh, I did it. Cool.
Let's have a look.
I can control you.
We got the caterpillar rider. He's riding on the caterpillar. The caterpillar rider.
Rider.
He's riding on the caterpillar.
Rider. Is it does the stick have like? Is that the kind of thing where it's like you're dangling a carrot in front or something, or is it more like a
I don't think so.
a jouster?
I think at the beginning.
Wait, does it hit the cricket?
Yeah, it's pushing the cricket away. It's like, get out of the way. I'm coming through on my caterpillar.
No, Joe.
Also, Happy Dragon. Oh yeah.
Oh, cool. Wait.
Human skull. Yeah. I see it. Crab thing. Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I really like the stick pushy. The get out of it, go. God. That's great. It's a shame that you lost your reins after the beginning, but I can see why. Like, I think the brush that you were using is quite thick, and it kind of makes it difficult to tell, especially when you're doing a stick person. So everything is just one line.
Oh,
If you have a thick brush, it's kind of hard to tell which line is which if you have a bunch of them. So, I mean, obviously, on a second pass, I think it'd be cool to maybe use a thinner brush, go in there and do the reins in a different colour so you can keep them on. I like the little giddy up.
Yeah, I just
That
saw that
thing.
as well. A little kick.
Get on, get. I think it's because, it's going that direction, and they're like, no, go in the other direction.
Is that how you tell horses how to go in directions?
I thought that was the reins, but I am not a horse rider.
Yeah, do you pull on the rein to the left to get them to... I guess a kick is sort of like different speeds. Well, now that I think about it, kicking something to make it speed up feels really harsh.
Yeah, I like you've been doing the same thing that was it Martina was doing at the beginning, where you're showing this kind of overlap where the human's getting pushed forward and pulled backwards by the movement of the caterpillar. And I think you've done it pretty successfully here, especially at the beginning and towards the end. You see where they're being pushed forward by this caterpillar hump that's happening. I think that's really nice. You've got some nice arcs going on there. Obviously, there's the main thing is just the consistency of the head shape. If I were you and I was going to do a second pass on this to clean it up, I'd just get a circle and copy and paste it between each frame. And that way you're going to be able to really precisely control your arcs and your spacing on this. And I think since the head is a thing that most people are going to be looking at to track the movement, it's going to make it feel super slick if you do that, especially because it doesn't actually there's no reason for it to change size a lot through the scene. So I think that'll go a long way to really tightening those arcs and that spacing by making that head shape consistent.
So how would I type that?
See, I think the stick can sometimes look a little wobbly too. I think you're trying to give it a wobble though, right? Because you're trying to show that it whips up here, and then it's wobbling at the end, which I appreciate. I think maybe the wobble perhaps goes on a little bit long for what it's showing. Because it doesn't feel like this is traveling particularly quickly back up. So it feels like the wobble may go on a bit longer than it needs to. Another thing which I would probably do is to almost like a pool cue, add a little red tip to the end of the stick that you can track. So you can really make sure that the arcs of the end of that stick are working through the scene. Because that's probably the second thing that I look at the most, is the head and the end of that stick. think it gets like super long here too. But I understand that at this point you're probably just like, I'm so close to finishing this. I just like want 2 more frames and I've finished. But yeah, what's the length of it? Hold on. My phone is telling me to wake up. I'm awake, phone. Like, it's super long here, and I think it gets just a little bit visually confusing because of the reins. Because there's like an extra stick here on this frame and a lot of extra lines. So it's super long on this frame, but then not so long on that frame. And you can get a really nice feeling of perspective on it by shortening and lengthening it. Like, for example, you could totally work this bit here. This bit here, you've got a really nice arc with the end of the stick where it goes down and comes back up. And it changes length and becomes longer as it comes back up. And it makes it look like it's traveling in perspective. Like it's pointing slightly away from cam here and then more side on to cam here.
Yeah.
And I think you could lean into doing that like super deliberately all the way through.
If you used a brush where you could show the taper, you would see that it was moving into perspective. When you got a one thickness for the whole line, then it's harder to convey that.
Yeah. Likewise, if you end up putting a little tip on it, you can always do a slight bend in the line to show that, which might be really nice. So, for example...
Hey, Patrick.
Hey, Pat. How's it going? Come on, work brush.
And Nido, Alan Alice.
See you, Alan Alice. So, for example, if you gave it like a little stripe at the end or something, then the contour of the bottom of the stripe would go a long way to showing how it is in comparison to the cam. So, for example, when it's like this, you would have the stripe at the end mostly straight because it's directly like facing cam, but when it's pushed away from cam, you can give it that curve to really show the depth. Yeah, I think the main thing you want to think about is just consistency. The consistency of it, and think about your arcs. I think that the movement here is really solid. I think maybe you just hamstrung yourself a little bit by using too big a brush for everything. I think it maybe works for the stick figure to have the brush that thick, but consider changing the brush for when you do the reins, so that there's a very clear difference between the pokey stick and the reins.
Yeah.
I think it would be a good base for you to go over the top of this rough animation and do like a tighten up pass. And this way you really focus on the spacing and the arcs.
Where did my comments go?
They're there, I can see them.
Oh, they're gone through.
It looks like they initially had like a dress or something as well. Oh no, they have it all the way through. It's cool. It's cool. Awesome job, Jim of the Gym. I love this. I love all the little extra movements you added, like the foot kicking down and pushing the little bug away. It's great. Ah, this is a really nice challenge, guys. I love looking at this. It's so cool. I hope the comments were helpful to you guys and are going to help push your animation to the next level.
Next level, chant together, next level, India.
And of course, any of the crits I give to these animations like are interchangeable between one and the other. They're specifically for each person, but if you hear something in someone else's critique that's helpful to you in yours, then that's awesome too.
It's helpful, and then it becomes useful when you apply them.
You want the next Animorning challenge, guys?
Wait.
Whoa!
Intermission.
Okay. Are you gonna put on a advertisement?
No, I'm just gonna put on the cool eye catch.
Okay. Intermission.
Intermission.
We're just not allowed to say anything now. We have to sit here for a few minutes.
I want more of these for like when we have new things. Shawa.
It's so cool. This was made by Ben Powell, who always makes super cool shaders for stuff.
Oh, I timed the transition for when I saw it on the stream, but I mistimed it from the... Yeah, in the heads, Ben!
Ben!
Ben makes really cool games on Steam. He's currently working on one called Dead OS, and it's really fun. It's a zombie city simulator.
We played it on one of the morning streams, and it was really fun.
We did actually, yeah.
We should play it again soon, because now we can name people. So we can have Yumi and Patrick try to escape from a zombie city.
Oh, that's awesome.
Is there a way to like enter in a bunch of names right up the top, Ben? So you could could we potentially put in every single person in the peg bar and have them assigned to zombies? Or do we have to like go in and individually name each zombie? Yeah, Pat, so Ben's made a game called Dead OS, and it's a zombie survival simulator. So what you essentially do is you choose how many zombies you have, you choose how big your city is, you choose how many cops you have, and you can name zombies and such, and set how strong you want the zombies to be. And then you just set it going and see whether the city falls to zombies and the spread goes too fast, or whether the cops manage to keep it under control. It's really cool. The cops have this awesome AI where they like try and barricade the zombies in.
Here's a
Doig and I did it once, and we made
playing.
a super zombie by putting its speed to like 10 times faster than anyone else, and we hit play, and we didn't even blink, and there was just this trail of infection. This snail trail as this super fast zombie was just like careening around the map.
Yeah, we made it so that it took a fraction of the time that the humans took to move, and it just killed everyone.
Yeah, because you can watch the game on normal speed or speed it up, and it's kind of like each person moves a square a turn, and the zombies move a square every 2 turns to show that they're slower. But we had the zombies like move 10 times for every 1 human move, so they were ridiculously fast, and no one could escape them.
But yeah, new challenge.
New challenge. Okay, this challenge I think will be fun. So, in the past we've done a challenge where you take one of your favorite comic panels and you animate it.
Yeah.
And I think that was a really good practice, and I'd like to do that one again at some point, because I think it's great to kind of push you to draw in a style that you wouldn't usually, and to try and visualize the motion of something when you have things that you could kind of count as keys already.
Yeah.
For this challenge, I thought it might be fun for us to take a short paragraph from one of our favorite books and animate it.
Oh.
So it could be your favorite moment from like Pride and Prejudice, or Moby Dick, or The Magicians, like whatever you would like. My only caveat is try to make sure that what you choose isn't too ambitious and too long, because we're going to maintain that we're looking for rough animation with a time limit of 3 hours spent on it. Just so that you guys can stay sane and also have enough time for your own personal projects.
So maybe keep it a short paragraph, or maybe a sentence.
Yeah, sentences are okay, because obviously like one paragraph in a book isn't the same as another. Some paragraphs will have epic sea battles with hundreds of people in them, and some paragraphs will have someone taking a sip from a cup of tea. So
I like that because like that implies I read books. Oh,
does manga count? It doesn't. It's got to be something which doesn't have visuals already attached to it. I'm looking for you guys to like pull from your own brains here.
Do we stay away from spoilers? Asked Jim of the Gym.
You don't have to. If there's a spoiler that you really want to animate, if you want to animate a certain evil wizard falling off a certain tower, then you can do it, you know. How about children's books that have illustrations here and there? Yeah, I don't. As long as the moment that you're going to draw isn't already drawn for you by the book, I think that's the most important thing. You know, so if the book has illustrations, but the illustrations don't relate to what you want to animate, then that's totally cool.
Does it have to be someone else's writing?
No. It could be your own writing if you want.
Am
I damning myself by opening this to like any kind of fanfic?
Yeah, I think so. I think we should put a limitation.
Okay, let's put a limit. It has to be a published book by someone else.
By someone else, yeah.
And it can't be a fanfic.
Yeah, I mean,
I would say keep it to books which aren't fanfics, because it would be nice to be able to tag the books.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe we'll do a fanfic one. I feel like doing a fanfic one. We're opening ourselves up to a certain kind of content, you know?
I heard recently that someone thought they were reading a book series, but what they'd actually been reading was a fanfic book series based on that book series. And they were really confused about like the progression and character relationships. And the person who recommended the book was like, oh no, oh my gosh, you've read like 9 books of fan fiction and not the actual books. I just thought it was really funny.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see. Kezek says, what if the children's book has an animated adaptation already, like the BFG? That's a really good question.
I guess as long as you're not using the same interpretation.
Yeah, if you're going to interpret it yourself, I'd say that's probably a good shout, but it might be best just in general to steer clear of those, just so that you don't become kind of lost in. I feel like people are probably going to be more excited to see books they've never seen brought to life
yeah,
than they are to see books that have already been animated again, but slightly differently. But if you would really like to do it, if you've got something in your head where you're like, this moment, I want to do it, then just, do it. Do what your heart tells you that you want to do, you know?
I have a question.
Yeah.
If it's a paragraph, can this be a boarding challenge as well? Or is it
I
only
think that
animated?
It's only animated, but it's definitely how you stage it is going to be something that you're going to have to think about.
So you could have a series of like, here's a little bit of boards around the moment for context, and then an animated moment.
Yeah, to keep your time short, I'd probably say maybe thumbnailing would be the best shout.
And you can share those.
Just thumb out your compositions and then choose the one you think it will work best for the moment, rather than needing to do a full board of it before you animate. Because otherwise, the 3 hours is already gone on the board.
If you're boarding, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe like try and keep it simple. Yeah, but it's a good I think it's going to be a good opportunity for people who want to do a bit of action, to do a little bit of action, for people who want to do some acting, to do some acting with characters that you know and are invested in already, where all the context and world is set up for you.
I think this is really cool.
Are you going to do one? You're going to do the Magicians?
You keep bringing up the Magicians book. I do.
Well,
love
it's because I said it, and then I saw your eyes light up, and I was like, I've got him.
I really like that book. I have to read parts of it.
Do Doctor Strange and Mr. Norrell.
Oh my gosh, that book is so weird. Hands up.
The man sitting by the window, just waiting, freezing to death.
Oh my god, that story! Yeah. Oh, I forgot about that part. It's so fucking. Has anyone else in the chat read the book Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell?
No, I bet they haven't. I bet no one else has read that book. It's so good.
I don't know. There's like almost 50 people here. Nope. Anyone.
Anybody. Hey, has anybody? Whoa. Susan Phil says, I have read it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Isn't it quite an odd book?
It's odd. I think it's very fun. I like it a lot.
It is very fun. But it's very like... It's a book about magicians. But it makes magic the most mundane, practical thing I've ever seen.
I'm gonna just put the name of it in the chat for people.
Not to be mistaken for the other book that India talked about called The Magicians.
Yeah, which is not that.
I think it might be Susanna Clarke. I can't remember.
Yes, it is Susanna Clarke, I believe.
Gotcha.
But yeah, should be fun.
In a way, it's written a little bit like Dracula in that, like, because Dracula itself is like you're reading people's letters to one another at the beginning. I never got too far into Dracula, to be honest. But it feels like people writing accounts of things in a way. I wonder if she was a journalist as well. I don't know, it's got kind of like journalist style to it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very objective rather than subjective writing. Like, it doesn't put itself in the shoes really of either of the characters. It kind of views them from a distance. So it tells you what they do but doesn't necessarily make judgments on them.
Yeah. Yeah, does anyone have... Okay, switching track a little bit. Does anyone have any books that they have in mind for this challenge?
Let's hear what you guys are thinking, because I'm excited to hear what you might pick. Oh, wow. Cecil Hill says she did a second book of short stories in that world also. I didn't know that. I might have to find that.
Oh, sweet. Oh, Hitchhiker's Guide.
Kozak says maybe this Dutch kids book series called The Horror Bus.
The Horror Bus.
The Horror Bus. Pikachu
awesome.
says Harry Potter. Awesome.
A lot of books you like are crime.
Cool.
I have a particular series of books that I like to read. The Charlie Parker novels, which are sort of like supernatural crime books. Kind of explains why I like the series Supernatural, now that I think about it.
Your Majesty says Redwall, dealing with dragons, schooled, 11 thumps, like everything I read in middle school. The Horror Bus. I'm looking forward to seeing what the Horror Bus is.
Oh, thank you for clipping the challenge, Martina.
Who's gonna do Animorphs?
Oh no.
I'm kidding. Don't do Animorphs. Don't.
Animorphs, no. We learned how the artist used like procedural program and hand painting that to make it appealing for the covers. Hap snap. What's hap snap?
I think it's the sound effect of someone's leg being bit.
The leg biter. What is?
Thank you.
What has Robin Hobb written?
Robin Hobb's written the King's Assassin or something. I'm reading them at the minute. I really like them. They're the ones I recommended to you.
Oh, cool. Robin is a girl.
Yeah, they're great. The books are really good. I recommend them.
Oh, what a cool name.
One of my favorite ones. What, Robin Hobb? I wonder if it's a real name or if it's a pseudonym.
It's a pen name. Their name is Margaret Astrid Lindholm Ogden.
I'd love to see Riria animated.
What?
Man, that's such a hard thing to say. They should have called the book something different. It's spelled Riya. How would you pronounce this?
I know, it's weird.
How would you pronounce this, Mike?
Thank you for the bits, Patrick. I'm gonna have to come over. You thank Patrick for the 1,000 bits that you just wrote.
Oh my gosh, Patrick, thank you. Oh, it's. I just switched back to the tab where the stream is, and it's all going mental. Thank you so much, Patrick. Holy guacamole! I'm not winning. Oh my gosh, I'm losing so bad. Riria, is that what you'd call it? Riria. That's a hard thing to say.
Riria Revelation.
I'd love to see the Riria Chronicles animated. They're about a thief called Royce and a swordsman called Hadrian who have adventures together, and it's cool.
Oh my gosh.
I like those books a lot. I'm just pogoing in the foreground. I'm stuck. Come on, move, Swifty! Get them bits!
Nah, I got them bits.
No!
Patrick says, 4 weeks, y'all, and I have all the time in the world to hang out.
Oh, that's awesome. And we can play some, I've forgotten what the game's called, but we can play some Dwarven shoot-em-ups.
Deep Rock Galaxy.
Yeah, Deep Rock
Forge.
Galactic.
Deep Rock Galactic. There we go.
Deep Rock Galaxy Forge.
Whatever. I knew it was Deep Rock. I get points for the first 2 words.
Yeah, you
I
do.
did say Galaxy the next. I just couldn't. Yeah. Reapgok Galactic.
I love Reap Doc. Alright, well we should head off. Because I need to hit some pages before it's time to storyboard again.
Alrighty. It's been awesome, everyone. Thank
It's
you
awesome
for
to
coming
see
by.
you too, Pat. So thanks for popping in. It's nice to see that you're still chugging. You're still alive. Thank you guys for tuning in for the Animorning Challenge, and I'm really excited to see what you guys do for the next one. We'll post it up on the Twitter soon.
Martina gave us a clip, so we can potentially just download that and upload that for.
Martina,
I'll see what.
you are our savior. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh, it helps so much just to have someone on the ball like that.
Yeah, thank you for making our lives much easier. Everybody have an awesome Monday, and best of luck with everything that you're doing. I hope that everyone's work goes well and you all have a great time and a really nice day.
I'm just looking for someone to raid.
Don't you want somebody to raid? Let's see if I can roll in that 20 while Mike looks. What do you guys think I'm going to roll?
Okay.
Place your bets. 8 from Martina. Last time I think I rolled 2 3s and a 2 or something, so let's see. Alright, we've got Nat 20, 16, Ben thinks 3, Willa thinks 4. Here we go. 18! I was up there. No one guessed it, but it was up there, guys. Better roll than usual.
Okay, do one more.
Okay, one more.
Yeah.
Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. What do you think it's going to be? It would have been amazing if it was 3 again. All I roll is just the worst dice. Alright, let's do it. Hoping for a nat 20. Here we go. Oh, it's on the floor. It's a 13, guys.
Oh.
I'm gonna roll it one more time because I don't think it counts when it's on the floor.
Oh, what do you mean? Totally counts.
Ow.
That does have a 3 in it.
Okay, it was an 11. So it still wasn't. I was hoping if I rolled it again, it would be like a nat 20.
Oh,
and we'd all be like, ah!
Kurzik and Claravan were so close with 12.
Oh, man. I got a 13, then I got an 11. It's like deliberately dodging you guys.
We're gonna raid Joe Creates, who does wonderful pixel animations. We hope you have a good time there. They're very chill and very skilled. So go send them our praise and love and good vibes.
I brought my pogo stick just to show her a trick. She had so many friends, but just one pogo stick. Jump, pogo, 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 bounce, pogo, 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 pogo. I'm just going.
I didn't know what you were doing.
Jump, pogo, 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 bounce, pogo, 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 jump, pogo, bounce, pogo, up, pogo, down, pogo. Adventure!
Jump, pogo, 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 down.
Jump, pogo, down, pogo, up, pogo, down, pogo. I went out with a girl a bit late. She had so many friends, but just one pogo stick. I brought my pogo stick just to show her a trick. She had so many friends, but just one pogo stick. Jump, pogo, 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 pogo. Have you not heard that song?
No! We're still recording. I'm gonna grab this.
Oh no! Don't! It's System of a Down.
Is it?
I'm
Okay.
gonna show it to you now.
Okay. Goodbye everyone on the VOD.
Bye, VOD peoples!